मैं नहर में बहता बहता अपने देश पहुंच गया. This is the line in Gadar 2 which made me lose hope. I can't reveal too much because it would be a spoiler, but a key character who's believed to be either dead or in prison says this to explain why he's alive and back home. The dialogue and the plotting is so sloppy that I immediately understood that director Anil Sharma and writer Shaktiman aren't really fussed about lucidity or coherence or even beyond a point, storytelling. Gadar 2 simply and unapologetically taps into nostalgia and affection for the 2001 original. The makers hope that the blockbuster magic of that one has survived 22 years and will somehow fuel the sequel, which also serves as a showreel for Sharma's son Utkarsh, who also featured in the original as Jeete, the feisty young son of Tara Singh and Sakina. The first film was called Gadar Ek Prem Katha. This one should have been titled Gadar 2, A Screaming Match, because there's a lot of shouting in this film. The action takes place in 1971 before the Indo-Pak War. Relations between the two countries are already at boiling point. And that's before Tara, our do-gooder truck driver, Pakistan ka damad and proud chest-thumping Hindustani enters the fray. Then the decibel meter dials up to breaking point. In one scene, Tara and the sadistic Pakistani army general Hamid Iqbal are actually just hollering at each other like two lions roaring. Tara is tied up, but he remains unassailable. Here's the good news. Sunny Deol, now 65, can still pull off this Superman material. The first film soared on his Herculean shoulders, and more than 2 decades later, he still has that son of the soil charm and brute strength. Once again, one of the best scenes in the film involves him and a hand pump. Though he also utilizes many other weapons through the film to defeat the Pakistani army. In one scene, it's a giant hammer, which looks like Tara borrowed it from Thor. In another, he throws this giant wooden wheel at soldiers rushing towards him. But my favorite was a sequence in which he uses General Iqbal as a weapon, just twirling him around so that his feet kick away his own men. Sunny somehow makes all of this convincing, but what he can't do is rescue this film. Gadar 2 is an endurance test that runs for 170 minutes. This time, Tara must go to Pakistan to rescue his son Jeete, but each time you think father and son have finally gotten away, General Iqbal returns like a bad dream. This general, played by a snarling Manish Wadhwa, is so twisted and such an India hater that at one point he forces a groveling Hindu to choose between the Quran and the Gita. When the devout Hindu in these types of films, there is no other kind, chooses the Gita, the general beheads him. The Pakistani army is portrayed as a band of hate-filled fools who can't shoot straight. There are multiple situations in which Tara and Jeete are pursued by men with guns, grenades, even tanks, but each time they manage to escape. The army men are inept and, like their boss, rabid. We see them beat up a Muslim man only because he says that Muslims are living comfortably in India. In another scene, a subordinate tells the general about Tara and Jeete, "Jayenge kahan janab, seedhe jahannam mein." Yes, this is that type of film in which we know characters are Pakistani because they keep saying janab and kafir. In the original film, Tara single-handedly defeated the Pakistani army, but through it, he preached harmony. In that film, Tara says, "Nafrat sirf jalati hai, raakh kar deti hai. Chahe wo dil ho, ghar ho, mulk ho." We're also told that sabse bada mazhab insaniyat hai. But these days, a shriller voice lands better at the box office, and Sharma and Shaktiman turn up the rhetoric. At one point, Tara says that if Pakistanis were asked to choose between the two nations today, half of Pakistan would be empty. Sharma also bungs in Vande Mataram and religious chants in key places as BGM to amp up the rabble-rousing. But this film's gravest sin is the sheer eye-glazing boredom, especially when Tara is not on screen. Sharma has created a robust hero track for his son, including a love angle, scenes in which he also gets to thump his chest and declare his love for his father and country, and elaborate action sequences. Jeete wants to be an actor, so there's even this bit in which he passes himself off as a Rajesh Khanna aping cook in Pakistan. But this burden of playing a character who himself is acting as another character is too much for Utkarsh, whose talents are not as vast as the opportunity here. Amisha Patel, dressed to the nines, is mostly simpering or being coy or crying. And the several songs don't help to elevate the plot. Though it is lovely to hear the foot tapping Main Nikla Gaddi Leke by Uttam Singh again. Gadar 2 is insistently old-fashioned. This is the kind of film in which characters find each other by singing the same song and a taweez plays a role. This lack of logic wouldn't have rankled so much if the screenplay had the grip and the emotion of the first film. Even Tara Singh needs help in some departments. You can watch Gadar 2 at a theatre.